Hello and welcome back to the Euro Roundup, where we give you the lowdown from around European football at the weekend. Sorry about the state of my head. Have to give a quick shout out to the first loser of the day. My head took on a tree in Edinburgh. They very much came out on top. Scottish rugby can do all sorts of things to your brain. Anyway, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. This will be off in a few days. But we're going to start with Bayern Munich, Joe. Let's get into the football away from the head.
Yeah, let's move on from the head, because Bayern came out 3-1 winners on Schalke to reduce the gap between themselves and Dortmund to just 5 points. As earlier in the day, Borussia Dortmund had thrown away a 3-goal lead. We're going to talk about that later in this show. And Bayern Munich did exactly that, with Schalke's Jeffrey Bruma scoring home goal on his debut. They did pull level though. Kutaku, the new young academy starlet, making it 2 in 2 starts in all competitions, but that did not last very long. Robert Lewandowski bagged just 100 seconds later, his 13th of the season, and his 119th. 119th
That's crazy.
For Bayern Munich. It feels like only yesterday he was signing on a free transfer, moving him level with Roland Holfarth as Bayern's 3rd highest goal scorer of all time. Lewandowski has now scored against Schalke in 8 consecutive games. Not a bad record there, and he could have had a second as well, but instead he accidentally set up Serge Gnabry after he failed to execute an overhead kick, which then pretty much killed the game off, dude.
Yeah, very much so, but Schalke won't really be surprised with this result. They're now winless in their last 17 Bundesliga meetings with Bayern, losing 14 of them. And Kutaku's goal actually made him Schalke's joint 3rd highest league goal scorer this season on just 2 goals. So you can see the issues there. Simply not enough goals at all. Midfield Cagliari is actually their current top goal scorer with 4.
That's just so bad.
How bleak is that?
How is Kieran still watching this team?
I know. Poor guy. He really does commit to them. Every weekend he sits down for his hour and a half. Give up, Kieran. Schalke fans have pretty much already done so. Anyway, they have been ravaged by injury. We've got to give them a bit of credit. Tedesco's been forced into 68 individual changes to lineups this season, which, considering they must have only played about 21, 22 games, that is, 3 or 4 a game. Remarkable stuff, really. They've got 5 players currently injured, and their top goal scorer, Cagliari, will miss their next game due to picking up too many yellow cards. They currently sit 14th in the table. They're only 7 points off the relegation playoff spot, and without a league win in 3 matches. And considering this is a side that finished 2nd last year, it has been a disastrous campaign. They'll face Freiburg next, who are 1 place above them, so that's a crucial game before Man City travel to face them in the Champions League round of 16.
It's going to be a pumping, isn't it?
And, having seen what sort of form City are in 2019, this could be really, really bleak. So Schalke fans, run for the hills. City, lick your lips. You're playing Schalke.
Before we move on to our first loser, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit subscribe, because we're about to talk about Borussia Dortmund. We mentioned them a second ago. This was submitted by Bigger Buck 01 dudes.
Yeah, it wasn't a good day for them at all. They drew 3-3, having been 3-0 up, and that shortens their lead at the top of the table to just 5 points. They can really sort of barely complain about the result either. They almost matched in terms of shots and shots on target, and Hoffenheim actually pipped them on expected goals of 2.3 to 1.99. Despite the disappointing result and the way they conceded, I think 3 goals after about 65 minutes, really disappointing sort of collapse in a way. The standout player on the pitch was without doubt within their ranks. It was 18-year-old Jadon Sancho. How many times have we said that this season? He opened the scoring to become the youngest player in Bundesliga history to reach 8 goals. He also hit the woodwork, created 2 chances, and made 7 dribbles.
7 dribbles.
These numbers are just becoming normalised by Sancho. And he also did a beautiful sort of pre-assist for the Guerrero goal, where he backheeled it to Götze, who then pulled it back. BVB looked great, and then some basic errors at the back sort of let Hoffenheim back into the game.
Yeah, unbelievably so, because like you mentioned, all of the goals came very, very, very late, just about keeping Nagelsmann's side in the hunt for European football next season. And they've pretty much got super sub Ishak Belfodil to thank for it, haven't they? Netting the first of the game in the 75th minute before slotting away the equaliser 3 minutes before the final whistle. The 27-year-old journeyman, he's not doing too badly, I think it's fair to say, for Hoffenheim this season. He's got a strike rate of 0.7 per 90 in the Bundesliga, which is absolutely incredible for a Hoffenheim player. History, though, remains on Borussia Dortmund's side. BVB have 50 points after 21 games. Only once a team with 50-plus points after 21 games didn't win the Bundesliga. And you have to go all the way back to 1971 to find Schalke, who were also 5 points ahead of Bayern Munich, coincidentally. At the time.
Spooky.
Will they bottle it, though? That's the question everybody's asking on social media, and we want you to answer it. Vote in the poll up there right now to decide.
Right, we're heading over to Spain now for our next winner, and this comes in from @Alam Pathak, and he says Real Madrid, Joseph.
Yes, Los Blancos climbed to second in La Liga with a crucial victory over city rivals Atletico at the Wanda Metropolitano. Atleti's record at home this season, or in 2019 anyway, not great. They've already conceded more goals in 2019 than they did in the entirety of 2018 or the entirety of 2017. And we're only in February.
Mid-February.
Yeah, not particularly great, but Real Madrid have been tremendous in 2019, winning 6 of their past 7 games in all competitions, as well as that pretty well-contested Copa del Rey draw against Barcelona.
Yeah, definitely. They were good value for a draw, though.
Yeah, they've only lost once in the league in 2019, having lost 5 of the previous 16 La Liga fixtures this season. And it was a big day for Gareth Bale, netted his 100th goal for Real Madrid on just his 270th appearance. He must be thinking, oh, what could have been if it wasn't for the injuries as well along the way. After coming on for Vinicius Jr., who looked sprightly throughout yet again. What I will say is Atletico Madrid rightly fuming about some of the refereeing decisions, some pretty dodgy ones in this game. But we have to mention the star man, Casemiro, netted an acrobatic opener and just imperious throughout. One of the best defensive midfielders in the world. 79 touches, 3 aerial duels, 7 tackles and interceptions. A huge win for Solari, and Real Madrid fans must be absolutely delighted, dude.
Yeah, delighted. But Atleti, on the same time, must be really disappointed. They only had 34% possession, but they actually matched Real for shots. They each had 11, but they only put 2 of their 11 on target. And their goal was very much a breakaway. It was a nicely constructed counter-attack, but they didn't really create that many clear-cut opportunities. And their set-piece defending for the Casemiro goal, as well taken as it was from Casemiro, was pretty atrocious. There were 4 men marking Sergio Ramos, but he still had the freedom to knock it down for him. And Sergio Ramos' 42nd minute penalty, although I don't think it probably was a penalty, because I think the Jimenez tackle looked like it was outside of the box, or at least the start of the contact was. But that means that Atleti have conceded twice in the first half at the Wanda Metropolitano for the first time since it's opened in 2017. So not really great omens for their start of their time there. Simeone's men have now lost 2 on the bounce, having been unbeaten in the 19 before last weekend's defeat to Real Betis. And their only previous loss came way back in September, 2-1 defeat to Celta Vigo. So they had been on a good run. I mean, a lot of draws in there as well, but they had been on promising form. And it's a bit harsh, this, but their sudden downturn has coincided with the certain arrival of a Spanish striker coming over from Chelsea. Alvaro Morata, he didn't actually play that badly against Betis, but he had another sort of disappointing game in what he's, really set his stall out against one of his old sides, and it didn't really happen. He only had 1 shot, which was off target in 71 minutes, and had a really well-taken goal, in fairness, ruled offside by VAR. Discipline as well, another issue. Thomas Partey's 80th minute sending off means that Atleti have received 7 bookings in a single game for the 2nd time this calendar year, after that bad-tempered tie with Sevilla back in January. So a few issues for Simeone to contend with. But we want to hear from you guys. Do you think Atleti or Real Madrid have any chance of catching Barcelona? It looked unlikely, but they did struggle in their 0-0 draw against Athletic Bilbao this weekend. So we want to hear from you guys. Is there any hope, or has La Liga gone for another year? Let us know in the comments down below.
Our final losers of the day, it's harrowing for everybody who called me out on that on a couple of weekends ago, Sunday Vibes. For Nacional, this one was sent in by Leo Kovac Zrakic.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably the worst weekend of all their players' lives. They lost 10-0 to Benfica. Ooh. The last time a team scored 10 goals in the Portuguese top division match was 1964 when Benfica beat Seixal 10-0. Eusebio scoring 6 of them that day. So it's been a while since a battering of this kind was handed out. The club that originally produced CR7 now sits 3rd bottom of the league and have yet to win a game in their past 6 matches, conceding 19 goals in those games while scoring just 2. So it's pretty much falling apart for Nacional. And on the day, they never really had a chance. They only managed 34% possession, taking 5 shots to Benfica's 24, putting 2 on target. Benfica managed 14 on target.
14 on target, that's
Their
critical.
goalkeeper actually didn't play too badly. There was some horrific central defensive play from Nacional, but the goalkeeper actually made some good saves. But yeah, they were absolutely torn apart. And Nacional's Alexander Palasevic summed it up. The striker didn't manage a single shot and was dispossessed 5 times. Centre-back Julio Cesar took the most shots for the team with 2, committed 4 fouls and also made an error leading to a goal. But Benfica, it was a walk in the park, wasn't it, Joe? Really?
Yeah, it was absolute plain sailing. Within the first minute, they were 1-0 up. Grimaldo, the left-back, scoring it pretty much set the tempo for the day. The standout for Benfica, one of many, I suppose, was Pizzi, though. The Portuguese playmaker made 8 key passes. 8 key passes in 90 minutes. 3 assists and got 1 goal from the penalty spot.
Well done, Pizzi.
From Benfica's 13 outfield players, only 2 didn't take a shot. That is how dominant they were there. Benfica are now...
all-you-can-eat buffet.
I know, absolutely embarrassing. This is an embarrassing victory. Benfica are now second, just 1 point off Porto, who are top and face 14th place Aves next Monday. Whereas Nacional, poor old Nacional, are in the relegation zone, courtesy of a worse goal difference than Maritimo, probably not helped by this week's one. 10-0. They've conceded 45 in 21 games. Still not as bad as Fulham.
Yeah.
How bad must Fulham be?
I know, big time. I'm going to put it out that I think Nacional might be relegated with this defence. It's a bold shout, but no, I think they're going down.
There we have it.
Right, our star of the week now is, it could only be Sergio Aguero, and this came in from @HHarryX1.
Yes, we looked around the continent. We considered Hugo Rodallega
We did.
for a position here. But,
Loving life in
But
Turkey.
Adam Templeman quickly told us, absolutely no chance, we need a title. Stick Sergio Aguero in there. And rightly so, because he banged a hat-trick against Chelsea in their 6-0 rout at the Etihad yesterday. He scored 2 of City's 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes. 1 was an absolute perler, as much in the stanchion as you're ever going to see, and rounded off his hat-trick in the 56th minute with that penalty. His 90 looked like this. 89% pass accuracy, 2 aerial duels won, 2 dribbles, 6 shots, 3 goals, and he moved level on goals with Mohamed Salah in the race for the Golden Boot. He's now got 6 goals in 3 games, including consecutive hat-tricks since the start of February, and 10 in 9 appearances in all competitions since the start of 2019. That's 4 fewer than Huddersfield have managed all season.
Poor Huddersfield, they are having a shocker, aren't they?
Huddersfield have got 40 or 13 goals, I think, something like that. I think Man City have got something like 119. It's a total embarrassment, the levels between the two sides. But yeah, Sergio Aguero just on fire right now.
And he also could have got that 4th as well, because obviously he missed one of the worst chances of the year.
I know. The 2 freeze frames are a joke. You're like, how do you explain to your grandparents that Sergio Aguero missed that open goal but scored the one from 30 yards out?
It was mental. It was mental. But his 8 Premier League goals for City in 2019 is double that of any other player in the competition, and more than 11 Premier League clubs, which includes Chelsea, who have only scored 7. His hat-trick was his 15th for City and his 11th in the Prem, drawing him level with Prem hero Alan Shearer. He's averaging a goal every 99 minutes of Prem action this term. That's 31 minutes fewer than next best Mohamed Salah. And you wouldn't really, in this current form, bet against him bettering his best ever return, was a lot of B's in there, of 26 league goals in 15-16.
That really surprises me that his best ever return is
there's always about 5-6 games that he misses, though.
Yeah,
he only ever plays about 30 games.
Yeah, that is still incredible, though, isn't it? He's just so consistent. Every season it's 20 goals.
If you had to say right now who's winning the Golden Boot?
I kind of agree with Mike on the previous show that I think it's going to be Sergio Aguero, because I think Man City are finding form at the right time, but Salah's certainly going to push him all the way.
Yeah, he'll be in the mix too. But yeah, Aubameyang dropping off in the last couple of weeks as well. It looks like a 2-horse race for that one. But yeah, how pleased are you guys, City fans, with Aguero's performance? Let us know in the comments down below. And that's all we've got time for on ERU. Watch the good people do, Joe.
Yeah, go and check out Winners and Losers. It's live on Football Daily right now. We talked about loads of things, including Manchester United's continued good form, Burnley's uptake in form, and of course, this 6-0 battering by Manchester City Dukes.
Yeah, you won't want to miss that. See you guys next time.